Test, test, 1, 2. We have reached the end. This is the final regular season game for the Kennett Blue Demons here at Ice Works in Aston, Pennsylvania, where they face off against the Oxford Hornets. A pleasant good evening and welcome to our coverage of Kennett hockey. We have a special guest cameraman, Ken Ganley, stepping in for us. Of course, as always, alongside Swithin Shortledge, I'm Ed Henry. Swithin, this is it. We've reached the final regular season game of the season.
Game 18, I think this has more meaning for Oxford than it does for Kennett. We're locked into the 1 or 2 seed, but Oxford's looking to, they're in the 5th seed right now, and they're looking to get into number 4 slot, and they have 2 games left, so.
Actually, I think this game has less meaning for them. They are the only team that has 2 games remaining, including we have our keys of the game. As usual, brought to you by High Impact Fitness. Finish strong. This is an opportunity, as we just mentioned, for Kennett to finish in first place. We're looking for a team effort. Every shift, every period, all game long. I know we talked about it last night, that they started off a little wonky, that they just couldn't find themselves, couldn't work it out. But as the game went on, you could tell that the team started to get used to it. They played as a team. They really looked for each other. They got some really good passing towards the end, and of course, they ended up winning 4-1.
Yeah, I think that was the first game we had our full lineup intact in a long time, so I think we had a lot of kids that weren't used to playing with each other. They worked it out, like you said, in the second, well, there were only halves, not periods yesterday, but
yes.
No, I think tonight for Kennett, more importantly than a victory, is playing good together to carry that momentum on to the playoffs.
There's the buzzer ending pre-game warm-up. And, of course, the last one is 12-plus shots per period. And even more important than the shots is Oxford has Zach Keenan in net. And Zach can be a good goaltender, so really It's not just the shots. You really have to get them moving side to side, and that passing, and especially that one goal that feed across to Cucinato, that was a great play to where feed in, get the goalie looking one way, pass across, bury it.
Yeah, that's, you know, I think in our division, most of the goalies are pretty decent, and most of the times, if they're standing still and they line up with their angles and you shoot, they're going to save it, right? You've got to get the goalie moving side to side. So I think that's a key here. Zach Keenan has played very well against Kennett, but I don't think we've got him moving as much as we want to. So I agree with your keys there.
Pre-game skate has wrapped up, as you can see. You know, in between the pipes for Kennett, as usual, is number 31, Aiden Mott. Aiden is 11-4-1 this season. He's faced 410 shots. He's got a goals against average of a 2.56 and a 90% save percentage. We will scroll our lineup there for you along the bottom. There are your seniors: Nate Kelly, Nate Cucinato, Eddie Henry, and Nate DeWitt. Your juniors: Nick Vitale, Matthew Hayes, Tate Shortledge, Tommy Schillinger, and Cameron Brown. Sophomores: Colin Kelly, Eric Heinzelman, and Rowan Hagee. And the freshman crew: Luke Ganley, Ben Fisher, Braden Neiman, Lucas Mott, Aiden Mott, Drew Showers, and John Tamman.
Looks like we're starting with Cucinato back on defense tonight with Matthew Hayes sitting out his one-game suspension. We'll see how the lines turn out. It looks like we have Kelly, DeWitt, and Shortledge maybe coming next.
Early shot there for Kennett in on Zach. He made that save. Skate along the blue line, spins it all the way down. Ganley goes to get it. Saito is there, try to roll it back for Ganley, but that just evaded his stick. Puck along the boards goes all the way down, and that will be an early icing.
I think one thing we can do with Oxford, they have a short bench, meaning they only have, let's see, they have 10 skaters? I think they have...
Yes.
10? Okay.
Two full lines.
I thought they had 9, but they must have gotten somebody back from injury. But that's very tiring to play every other shift at this age group. So if Kennett can get pucks deep and make them skate the full length of the ice, they're going to get worn out by the end of the game.
Oxford had numbers going the other direction, but puck rolled off their stick, and Cucinato was able to move it back down to the other end. Number 14, Tyler Saito, moves it ahead. Got it to 96, Ryan Vitale. Battle for it along the near side boards. Eddie Ford was able to stop it there on the other side of the red line, rolls it in. Cucinato with it. We'll go back behind the net. Look to outlet. Banks it off the boards, doesn't get anybody. Length of the ice, and so we get another icing.
I think number 10, Chris Tatum, has been a scratch the previous games we've played. I think he must be
Yes, I think he's
back
got
from injury.
An upper body injury, and I think he's pretty much done for the season.
I thought he's back.
Oh, there must be another player. I know they have one that...
Shane Campbell, I think, is scratched, number 71.
Correct. That's, as you mentioned, the one who was out injured.
I think they both had broken collarbones, if I remember right from last time.
I think I do remember that. Moving reps all the way around. Ford's able to chip it back down low. Showers first one to it. He's leaned on there by Keenan. Work for it in the corner. Showers tried to look and get it to Vitale. Ford was able to come down and move it. Heinzelman chips it. Kennett is out of the zone and through center ice. Across the blue line, lost control, but still stayed on side. Vitale takes a shot. He's checked from behind, finally gets a stick on it. It goes behind the net. Brody Ford, first one to it. Taken off of his stick. Forced out the center ice. Even rolled it back for Schillinger. He had to deal with player right there. Back down low. Oxford goes all the way across. Drop there. Brody Ford will go in alone. Rest of the team changed. Good active stick there from Heinzelman to knock that away from him. Up along the boards, Fedorov will roll it down low. Schillinger to it there. Schillinger banks it ahead, was looking for Tamman, but Ford read that play and cut it off. Ford curls down in the corner, rolls it behind. Heinzelman gets a stick to move it back. Jake Marker got it over to Fedorov. Fedorov got a shot off, hit his stick and bounced up in the air, but Schillinger picks it up and he'll skate out. Tries to chip in from the red line. Ended up hitting a Fedorov.
Hit Natalie Fedorov right in the face mask.
Number 53 there, Logan Keenan all the way in. Puck goes off the outside of the net. Pushed out circle. Taman's out to make a play on that. Puck all the way through center ice into the Oxford end. Fedorov back to retrieve.
That's where, sorry, Ed. Oxford's running 3 defensemen, Saito, Fedorov, and Ford. So that's a lot of ice time for 3 skaters. So that's where they want to get pucks deep and make those guys skate, and girls.
Try to get it over to Jake Marker. He had some open ice there, but that pass was off target. Rolled through center ice. Out of reach for Lucas Mott, so Oxford put it back in deep. Aiden sets it up for Nate Cucinotta. Nate will skate out. The blue line through center ice. Into the Oxford end. He'll go all the way around, throws on the brakes. Fed it back up to the middle. Tried to get it to Ganley, but player right there. Referee calls a tripping. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think it was more of a shoulder check, which is perfectly legal. So
that was on Tatum. I think that's a check, and he just fell down.
Yeah.
I think Coach Richmond's asking for an explanation a little bit.
So with that, Oxford will get the first power play advantage here. We win that face-off. Ford with it. Tries to go across. Active stick from there, from Mott. Knocked it down, but Oxford still has it. Saito gets the shot, blocked in front. They swat at it. Battle Ford in the slot, forced up to the point. Ford's able to get over and keep it in. It's been behind the net. Gets past Keenan, but up to the point. Saito will roll it down low. Mott got a piece of it. First one to it. Hard off the glass, and he'll send it down and clear it.
I was looking at the league stats, Ed, and Oxford leads the league in power play goals. They have 19 this year. So they have the best power play in the league here as far as goals scored.
Saito drops that, goes to the circle. No Oxford player there. Good play there from Lucas Mott to send it the length of the ice, and that'll take off about half of this power play for the Hornets. Brody Ford with speed through center ice, over the blue line. Goes all the way behind the net, tries to feed it out in front. Good read there from Aiden Mott with his stick down. He was able to knock down that pass, gather it up, and he'll hang on. Oxford wins that draw. Quick shot there. Aiden with the save. Schillinger gets it, moves it up to the line. It's actually knocked down by Shortledge, but he was able to force it out to center ice. And on the near side, Vitale gets it up to Ford. He takes a shot that hits something and deflects wide. Schillinger tries to throw on the brakes, ends up blowing a tire. Rolled right into the middle. Cucinotta gets on that, and he'll skate out. Cucinotta in, looking for a shorthanded bid. Ties up behind, and he's just trying to eat up these last few seconds of the power play. They tick down to 10 seconds. Good work there to eat it up.
Yeah, good play by Cucinotta. There's nothing more frustrating when you're on the power play when somebody just pins it against the wall and you can't get it free.
So Fisher jumps out of the box, and we're back to five-a-side hockey. Ford picks up the loose puck. He's got Schillinger. Back check there from DeWitt. Gets a shot, hits the crossbar, and goes up and out of play.
I was afraid that was going to happen. Great play by Cucinotta, but we got 4 people caught deep in the zone, and then we had an odd man rush coming back with only Schillinger back. Kennett's fortunate not to be down 1-0 after that.
Defensive zone draw here for Kennett. Henry sends it around. Ganley to it. Look to outlet. Read there by Keenan, but Ganley takes it off of his stick and skated out. In on sides. Rolls down behind. Looking for some open space. Tried to roll it back. Was looking for Mott. There's a stick knockdown. Waiting to see. Oh,
I think the door came open.
dangerous play right there.
Oh, my goodness. You don't see that very often.
Thank goodness. So they'll drop this to the right of Zach Keenan. Tied up there, rolls to the boards. Mott with it, tried to put it through the slot, but didn't get much on that. He's to it from behind and tries to roll in front, hits the outside of the net. Nearly gets it up to the blue line. Heinzelman keeps it in. Takes a swat at it, doesn't get much on that. Brody Ford will gather up from center ice, or from the slot, and skate it all the way down. Heinzelman harasses him all the way. Forced him behind. Ford rolls it, was looking to break it in Keenan, but that pass was ahead of him. Marker keeps it in at the blue line. Ganley at the boards. Has Mott. Mott's got some open space. One was just off the bench, takes the shot, and it just goes wide. That was a good look from Ganley. Battle along the boards. Momentarily kept it in, forced out, but play it back to Kuchnata. He'll bank it ahead.
That was a nice play by Neiman to regroup there. He had the puck with his back facing the offensive goal, and instead of trying to turn blindly into somewhere he didn't know, he regrouped back with Kuchnata and then up, except Kuch iced it, so good thought, though.
Shots on the board right now show as 2 each. Saito redirects that back down low. Keenan to it. Banks it all the way up. Fedorov has it at the line. Back it off the glass. Going for Marker. He's leaned on there by Neiman. Puck forced down behind the net. Kelly chips that, but it goes up and out of play. We'll get a whistle. Just about 8.5 minutes remaining here in this scoreless first period.
So for all you viewers out there, we have a guest cameraman, Ken Ganley, who's an optometrist in Kennett, and I was looking through his diary, and he said tonight he's going to make the camera blurry, and then he's going to send an email out to all the fans and say, hey, I offer optometry services if you feel like you need an eye exam. So be wary of that. Dear diary, today I'm going to launch my diabolical plan to get more customers.
Rolled back behind. Tally has along the boards. He banks it up. Saito tried to keep it in. Good pressure from Showers to force it back out to the neutral zone. Backhand in. Neiman almost played it and realized he was offsides. Touches up.
Thanks to God for delayed offsides.
In front of the Oxford bench. Dig for it there. Squirts out. Turn around there from Cameron Brown. Check to Saito. Saito lost control of it. Ends up coming back up with it. But still bottle for it in the slot. Finally comes near side along the boards. Taman and Schillinger down there to force it all the way around. It's past Heinzelman. Keenan's there. Higgy was able to get it back for Heinzelman, and he's got some open space from behind the net to work with. Banks it ahead for Taman. Taman was checked there by Saito. Back up to the Oxford blue line. Brody Ford looked to send it through. Slow motion pass there. Ends up getting to Marker, and he'll come in. Heinzelman approaches them behind. They put it right through the blue paint. No one able to get to it. Cameron tried to go ahead, but he was getting back checked by Marker, able to get it deep in the Oxford end.
I don't know if you can hear Brown's mother cheering him on from the stands, but we can.
Hagee forces him from behind the play. Puck rolls off the stick.
2 Kennett players fell down on cue there at the same time.
Back for Keenan. Mott fights that one off. It goes up and out of play. And we'll get another stoppage. As we're on our camera. Hello, everyone at home, as we're here in our broadcast spot. Down to the corner. Kuchnata rolls it all the way around. Shortledge looked up and lost possession, but Kuchnata is there to retrieve it. Almost lost it in front. Dangerous play there. Tate will bank it ahead. It's past Tate. Up there.
2-on-1
opportunity
here.
Across. Had a chance for DeWitt, but he couldn't get a stick on the bouncing puck. Rolled all the way around. Kuchnata to it. He'll bank it back down for Kelly. Collin will go back for Kuchnata, but that got by him. They're forced out to the neutral zone. He puts on the moves and heads right in. Steps around Fedorov. Still had too many. Gets the shot. Goes up and over everything. Shot there from the corner. It's headed wide. Henry comes over and he'll get it. Fedorov will roll it behind. Puck all the way down to the Kennett end. Eddie Henney is there. Tried to roll it up. He was looking for Collin, but Brody Ford cuts that off. He'll skate in. Let's get around Heintzman, forced behind the net, all the way around. Good work there from Heinzelman. Keep them out of harm's way. Near side boards up, finally forced out. Rolling on edge, but not enough for icing. Fedorov back for it. Not there to make a play. Rolls to the corner, Mott's over to it. Heads back, tries to go out into the middle. Hits a body and forced out. Up to the point. Kelly takes it through traffic, just goes over everything. Heinzelman directs it back down to the corner where Fisher's there. Fisher and Mock, but it's Ford that comes away with it, and he'll bank it off the boards near side. Keene rolls it up, center ice, cut off there by Nate Kelly. He'll put it in and chase it down himself. Ford will chip it around the other side. Easy out there for Oxford. It goes off their stick all the way down. Referee waves off icing, not sure why. Back behind. Mott gets it all the way across, has Ganley. Ganley's at center ice. He'll make the move over the red line, gets by Saito. Gets the shot off. Zach makes the save, goes up and out of play, and we get another whistle as we are about 44 seconds remaining in this scoreless first period. Still shows 2 shots each. I don't know if I believe that anymore.
I think that's about right. I mean, Oxford hit a post. They hit Mott in the head. Few wide. I don't remember Kennett really having any serious scoring opportunities here.
I got it over. Schillinger centered ahead, went off a player and right back to him. He gains center ice line and he'll put it deep. Behind Oxford. Outlets. Puck goes all the way down. Will not have enough for icing once again. Kuchnata from behind. Puts in the brakes to avoid Keenan. Up for Schillinger. That got by him, but did make it out to center ice. Ford in over the blue line. Forced all the way behind. He rolls it to the middle. No one was there. I don't think anybody was looking for that. Puck put towards the net. Eden redirects it back out. Ford first one to the bouncing puck. Good stick check there from Kuchnata. Forces it back out. Showers from the red line. He'll put it in and head off on a change. Tally from the corner chips it all the way around the other side. Madonna there. He directed it out. Goes out to center ice. Eddie Henry tried to put it in, but back check to knock it away from him. Good position there from Hagee. Forces it back out to the neutral zone. Hammond moved it to center ice. Goes back in deep where Aiden will come out and he'll set it up for Eric Heinzelman. Heinzelman at the circle, steps around. Tried to feed it through the middle, ended up hitting one of the Oxford players. And Madonna sends it across for Saito. He'll step in, but he's checked there crossing the line. Puck gets right back to him and he'll direct it over. Fedorov takes the shot, hits the pipe once again, but stays out. Saito puts it into the middle. He had a Keenan sitting there, but he's able to move it out. Hagee from center ice. He's got some open space. Checked at the blue line, but stays with it. Move back out the center ice. Colin Kelly to it. Colin Kelly in across the line, makes the move, gets to the middle, takes the shot. Zach Keenan makes the save with his chest. Kelly rolled behind. They try to put it right, hits the pipe there. Zach will cover it up with just under a minute to play here in this first period. So they say that the pipes of the goal are an extension of the goaltender's equipment. So if that's the case, then Aiden has his equipment well tended for because he's had 2 go off the crossbar today.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll let you finish the period here, and then I'll give you my quick comment.
Under a minute to play. DeWitt rolls it to the middle looking for Kelly. He had to settle that down, puts it in towards the net. They battle for it. It goes in, and Kennett gets the goal with under a minute here in the first period.
Is that Shortledge or Kelly?
Kelly gets the shot.
Rebound for Shortledge there.
So Kennett able to get a late first period goal here. That's always one of the hardest things, is to get a goal scored on you in under a minute. Back in the offensive zone. Kennett with it in the corner. Shortledge forced it back behind. Ford's there to it. He's got 2 to deal with. Shortledge and DeWitt. Colin Kelly comes in support. Kelly and Ford go back and forth with it, but it's Brody who moves it all the way up and sends it across. Keenan across the line. He'll take the shot there. Aiden makes the save. Puck in the corner. Final few seconds of this first period are ticking away. They'll dig for it in the corner, but that's where it'll stay as the buzzer sounds, ending this first period. Kennett comes away with a late score, and they lead the Oxford Hornets by a score of 1-0.
I listened to a number of podcasts about pro hockey, and they interview pro goalies, and there's always a question about, wow.
A little feedback over there.
Kennett goal scored by number 73, Tate Shortledge, assisted by number 12, Nate DeWitt, and number 2, Nate Kelly.
So Tate with the 2 Nate assists.
Double Nate. But they say the goalies, when they're asked, hey, that hit the post, like, you're lucky, whatever, and the goalies say, no, I knew it was going wide. That's why I didn't stop it. Like, it didn't go in, right? I knew my angle. So I'm sure Aiden's saying, yeah, you can hit the post all day long. It's not a goal.
So both teams getting some in-between period direction. The referee wants them to move it along.
Refs have a party to go to tonight or something, maybe. Or awfully rushy here between.
They're paid by
periods.
the game, not the hour.
Yeah, I guess. So to tie off the quicksand conversation from last night, not only was it in TVs and movies, but what was one of the most popular video games in the early 1980s?
It's kind of not fair because I'm going to go with what you were showing me a picture of earlier, and that was the
Don't tell 'em.
Atari Activision Pitfall.
Pitfall. What was one of the ways you would die? You were swinging from vine to vine and you fell. What would you get into? Quicksand.
Oh, well, there was quicksand, there was tar pits, the crocodiles,
Logs.
the logs, the scorpions underneath.
But
were-
that's true. But you could die in a video game in quicksand in the 80s. So, of course, you'd be worried about it. What video game now has quicksand as a way to die?
Well, I would say that none of them, and that's only because as anyone in my family knows that whenever there's a question asked that I don't know, I'm quick to Google it because I love to just try and know things. So after your comment in the last game with quicksand, I looked it up, and apparently it was determined in 2005 that quicksand is only about 4 feet deep. So your likelihood, it's really, if you fall in quicksand, just stand up.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Isn't that the same thing when they say you can die in 3 inches of water?
As long as it can cover your nose and mouth. So don't lay down in quicksand, I guess is the moral there.
There you go.
Shot from the point there from Ford. Deflected, goes wide. Madonna directs it down to the corner. Keenan with it. He'll roll it back up to the point for Saito. Ganley put pressure on Saito, forces it out. Fisher banks it ahead for Ganley. He's in across the line.
3-on-1.
Ganley with it, feeds it all the way through to Mott, but it was in his skates and couldn't really get a stick on it.
That was a good play by Ganley to get that through the skates of Saito to give Mott a chance, but
up to the blue line, Kuchinada, he'll skate with it in his own zone. Go back behind and look for some open space. Tried to go all the way down. He actually had Colin Kelly behind the defense, but he was knocked down before it got to him. Banked ahead off the boards. That'll go all the way down and have enough for icing.
it's pretty impressive for Ford. Not only is he playing 2/3 of the game because they only have 3 defensemen, but he's in the offensive zone forechecking a lot. Like, that takes a lot of energy to do that. Like, he's expending a lot of energy right now.
Yeah, no, because most of the time we're seeing he is going end to end.
Yeah. Guess maybe he's used to it after 16 games of it.
Takes a shot there from Ford, but that doesn't get through. It hits traffic in front. Battle for it, the blue line. Kept in momentarily, but Heinzelman will direct it all the way down. It will roll on edge, and we'll get another icing.
Ted used to be on the same team as Brody's little brother, Tegan, a number of years ago. I don't think Tegan plays anymore, but
Puck drop to the right of Aiden Mott. Battle for there. Keenan redirects it to the middle, but it's DeWitt who gets it up to Shortledge. Shortledge in. Makes the move, forced down low. Still with it, rolls it all the way up to Heinzelman. Heinzelman takes it, goes off a marker skate into the corner. Let me go back up to the corner. He's looking for Schillinger, but he had an Oxford player right there with him. Marker in the Kennett end. Gets it through, shot there, goes wide. Far side, DeWitt to it. Tries to look to go back again to Shortledge, but that pass was behind him. Ford with it once again. Good active poke check there from Heinzelman. Marker has it. He takes a first opportunity. That goes off the outside, and that bounces. Strange bounce and goes in. So 14:08 remaining here in this second period. Oxford ties the game at 1.
is that Keenan that put that in, Ed? One of the Keenan brothers? I didn't see it. Made the first save and then, yeah, I think tap in by.
Yep, I would say that was 53. Logan Keenan
Yep.
ended up with that goal. To even across, Vitale, he'll direct it in, chase it down. Saito a step ahead of him. Is it off the boards, but comes right back to him. Saito with speed into the Kennett end. Where he forces him wide, feeds it into the slot, but Kennett's able to gather that up and head out. Colin Kelly tried to make a move, ends up hitting an Oxford player, forces it off sides, and we get a whistle.
Looks like there's been a line adjustment here. I think Showers and Kelly were swapped here on lines.
Oxford goal scored by number 53, Logan Keenan, assisted by
Little audio difficulties here for the rink.
Maybe you can go down and give her some lessons after the after the game here.
Puck directed ahead, got Fedorov. He actually has a step, takes the shot from the angle, and just misses. Puck came all the way out to center ice. Directed back to Natalie Fedorov. She'll send it across. That goes off of Vitaly's skate. It stays in the zone. He'll turn around and put it back in deep. And back around. Goes up and out of the zone. Henry from the red line. Puts it all the way back in again. Cameron Brown down to retrieve. Got John Tamman with him. Puck goes all the way the other direction, and it will have enough for an icing. And we lost our camera feed.
It's another one of Ganley's ploys. Lost your vision? Come see me. I can see fine.
Bear with us a second. Make sure we get that back for you. Not sure why we're losing our feed here. Bear with me just a second. We'll see if we get that. There we go. Back to live action hockey now. Just need to get my clock situated. I was having it run during one of the stoppages as we were fixing that. Just wait till it catches up. Puck directed over, Ford with it. He lost an edge as he was heading towards the bench. Fisher gets it over to Mott. Mott with some open space. Backhands it for Fisher. He makes the first shot. Huge save there from Zach Keenan.
Nice passing by the freshman line here.
Had to go back into the middle again. That one was knocked down and sent behind. Puck rolls all the way across. Heinzelman races in. He gets a shot off, but that was going wide. Bounces off the boards. He pinched to keep that in. Sits in the slot, but Brody Ford, as we say many times, gathers up the puck and skates out. Brody Ford, I think, got a check on somebody. Went through his arms up in the air as if going, not me. Lucas Mott comes in, tries to make the move, gets the shot, goes off a Ford skate and stays wide.
I think he got tangled up with Nate Kelly, and he was trying to show the ref that he wasn't
I didn't do it.
doing anything bad, but
Isn't that what we say, the universal sign for not me? You throw your hands in the air.
yeah.
Directed through by Oxford. Kuchnada tried to send that back out, but ends up going off of Vitaly's skates and come right back to him. All the way up to Mott. Mott checked there by Fedorov at the line. Gets it back, they bounce it up. Kuchnada keeps it in, gets it back to Mott. Feeds it all the way over to Ganley, but that was ahead of him. Ford tried to get a stick on it. He battles with Ganley along the boards. Ganley still with it. Skates in front, gets it across. Huge shot there and in. Good read. And Kennett ends up going ahead by a score of 2-1.
It's a good play with Ganley off the wall, down low. Right in front, is that Mott put
Yep.
it in? Yep. Fisher right there too. Those three are working good together again. Looks like they're staying out there. Ought to be young again. 15 and endless energy.
Able to skate more than 30 seconds at a shift. Forced all the way around, Mott to it. Directs that through. It goes off a few skates. Ganley with it near side. He tried to get it back to Fisher. But it was red there. Sent all the way across. Chopped that by Mott. Fisher tries to come and help out. Schillinger will put it back behind the net. Kuchnada has it. Nate puts on the brakes. Roll it all the way up. Mott at the blue line. Left it for Fisher. Fisher's got some space. Ganley waits. He's onside. Knocked off of his stick. Schillinger was coming in, but Fisher got to it. Fisher gets I think it was a pass, but it went way up and over everything the far side. Cucinotta down low. Rolls it back up for Mott. Or Ganley. Ganley spins around. Gets by a couple. Rolls it behind. Has the Mott. Puts it right in front. It deflects and ends up going in. So leaving them out for an extended shift pays off. And the freshman line puts another one in.
So Ganley doing some stick handling in the corner down to Mott behind the net. Did Fisher get that in front, or did that go off of an Oxford player? I couldn't quite tell. I think Fisher might have put that in, yeah?
Same thing. There were so many down there in front. I think if they get their audio fixed, that might tell us, or not.
Well, either way, good play by, again, the three working well together, Ganley, Fisher, and Mott. You can see Oxford's hanging some forwards here, well past center ice.
Kelly turns around, tries to backhand in with the wraparound, but Keenan slides across to get a piece of that and keep it out. Keenan directs it up to the middle. He's looking to get a Vitale, but he's cut off all the way the direction. Kelly makes the move at the blue line. Knocked off of his stick. Fedorov tries to get it. Ends up feeding it up. Got it to Keenan. Keenan checked there by Cucinotta. Forced off and goes out to center ice. Sido racing to it with DeWitt chasing. Able to get it over to Fedorov. She feathers it up, goes past Keenan and Cucinotta with it. He goes behind the net. Got Marker right there with him, so he'll send it back behind for Heinzelman. Heinzelman, dangerous play, puts it out into the slot. Luckily, there was some support to knock that away and keep it out. Puck tied up in skates. Heinzelman's able to get it at the red line, and he'll wind it in deep, and Kennett will make some player changes. Shorlich off the bench, makes a move, takes the shot. Keenan makes the save. Talley rolled it back gets it back. Shorlich saw that coming, braced himself for that check.
Former teammate Logan Keenan, he and Tate played together a couple years ago.
Pulled off the wall, Sido sends it all the way across. Talley's got to come back for it. He'll roll it all the way around. Neiman kept it in momentarily. Sido gets checked there. Bodies come together. I'm going to say that based on who had possession when the whistle was called, Oxford's going to go back to the power play.
That was a good stick on puck by Neiman. I think Vitale's crime there was that he came in and threw a check, but the puck had already gone because Neiman had taken it away from Sido. So
Vitale will sit for 2 minutes. Roughing is the call. Just over 7 minutes to go here in this second period. Oxford with an opportunity to come within one. Face off in the Kennett offensive zone. They drop it and blow it dead right away. Referee giving directions for something.
I think they're throwing the Fisher out of the face-off circle, and I don't know what he did, but the ref didn't like it.
The point. Oxford set up on their power play. Ford takes a snapshot there from the blue line, misses the net. Fisher's able to pick it up, and he'll send it all the way down. Got past everybody. Mott's ahead of all of them and is the first one to it in the Oxford zone. Rolls it back up, gets it to Fisher. Fisher to Cucinotta. Cucinotta will take the shot. Had Mott camped out right in front looking for a deflection. Back up to Cucinotta the line. Cucinotta takes the shot. That one's forced wide. Come across there. Looking at the open net. Referee blows dead as the net off.
Yeah, the goal when Keenan slid across, he knocked the left post off.
So some good offensive opportunity for Kennett shorthanded.
Well, I stand corrected. Last night I was talking about the Flyers Cup, and I've been informed that teams in the division that Kennett's playing in are not eligible to qualify for Flyers Cup this year. So the D2 playoffs coming up the 28th and the 1st will be the last.
That's the end of the road for Kennett for this year.
Correct.
So nets on. Everybody's all situated. Fisher was able to get sort of a shot off. It was deflected wide. Ford has it, and he'll sit behind the net and wait for his team to head up ice. Got it over to Saito, goes off of his stick, but Keenan was able to get it and go in deep. Keenan from behind. It's worked on there, but ends up getting it back up to the line. Ford over to Saito. Saito takes the shot. That's a high riser and goes up and over. Mott to it. He'll get a stick and send it all the way down. Fisher racing to it. Fedorov feeds it up to Ford. Ford will roll it across. We tick down to 42 seconds remaining in the Vitale minor. Along the boards, player goes down, forces it out to the middle. Not sure why they whistled that down, but
hand pass, the ref saying. I'm not sure if it was a Kennett or an Oxford hand pass, but somebody had it in their hand, and
I'm going to guess from Brody Ford saying, but he touched it. It must have been a hand pass against Oxford.
I think if it was against Oxford, it would have been not at the face-off location they placed it there, because that was a little close to the net.
Almost an opportunity there.
Yeah,
Shortledge had Kelly heading up.
That's got to come out, though.
Ford in the slot, check there by Heinzelman, gets it up. Kelly's able to get it, and he'll send it the length of the ice.
Kelly saved Shortledge there. I know Shortledge was trying to make an offensive play, but you've got to make sure that puck comes out. You cannot turn that over at your blue line.
Final few seconds tick away of this Oxford power play. Goes all the way up to Heinzelman at his blue line, and he'll chip it ahead. Power play is over. Vitale's out of the box. Heinzelman knocks that down. Able to get up to Vitale at the blue line. Whistled because Colin had just not made it across. So offsides whistled with just over 5 minutes to go in this second period. Kennett leads Oxford by a score of 3-1.
Well, for your third key to the game, both teams combined only have 13 shots, and we're almost done the second period. So 12 a period's not working tonight.
No, but I guess if you followed up with the getting the goaltender moving and getting it behind him, you know.
Yeah, pretty good shooting percentage right now for Kennett. 3 goals on 8 shots. I'll take that any day.
Fedorov fed that up for Ford, goes off of his skate. Schillinger to go off, hits a body and stays in the zone at least momentarily. Look for it right at the blue line. Keenan directs it over to Vitale. He backhands over to Keenan, who gets the shot off. Mott was up for that. He'll make the save and hang on.
It's a nice play by Oxford Vitale. Faked wide and then backhand pass to Keenan, who was ready for that. Almost looked like he was expecting it. Like they'd done that before. It's a good scoring chance.
Face off to Aiden Mott's left. Oxford wins that back. Gets the shot. Ends up hitting something and going up into the netting. So they'll bring it back and try that one more time. Puck sits there momentarily. Kuchnada finally comes away with it. He'll skate out. Cross center ice into the zone. Feeds it all the way across. Is looking to get it to Vitale, but bouncing puck he couldn't settle. Everybody chops at it there. Rolls to the middle. Ford's able to direct it up to Tatum at the blue line. Send it over to Madonna. Ends up at Henry, and he takes a shot at the coach on the Oxford bench.
Where was he thinking that puck was going to go?
Trying to put that in the restaurant.
Almost did it. Jeez. Hope that's puck-resistant glass over there.
Well, I'm sure it's not, because I would say that's the reason they have the netting. And I always make the comment, shot there, goes wide, is if you're ever in rink 1, they have short stands and shorter glass. So if you're standing on the stands, you're actually above the glass level, but there's no safety netting. There is safety netting on the other side behind the benches that protects the glass to the cafe.
Okay.
So the glass is more important than the spectators.
Well, I think they make more revenue off the food and drink than they do off of grandma and grandpa, I guess.
Again goes wide, sits behind the net. Anna tries to step around, but that was forced out to the middle. Mott racing to it, but Saito is first one there. Tamman forces Saito further down before he heads off on a change. Saito up to Tatum, that was cut off by Mott. Lucas in across the blue line. Definitely being hooked there by Tatum. No call. Lost his stick.
No,
There it is, delayed penalty. They are going to call the hook. Goes back up. Colin Kelly gets it over to Cucinotta. Little extra man advantage here for Kennett. Cucinotta rolls it back for Colin. Colin will roll it behind, has Ganley behind the net. He gets it up to Fisher, goes off a body, still with an opportunity. Shot there, sits in the blue paint. They finally get a stick on it and get the whistle. I wasn't sure if they're going to call that because he was so strong on the play that he hooked him. Tatum lost his stick and fell on the play, and it didn't impact Mott at all. He just still maintained possession and kept skating.
Yeah, I think Tatum was a little off balance when he was hooking him, so he fell down, but
up to the point there. Colin Kelly will roll it back down low. Ganley back behind for Mott. To Ganley. Colin across to Nate. That goes between them, but he still is able to stay with it. Nate, good active stick there from Keenan, forces Cucinotta out to center ice. Kennett needs to reset. Fisher at the line. He goes in. They're on sides. Drops it for Nate Cucinotta. Nate along the blue line. Rolls it back down for Fisher. To Mott, right back to Fisher. Fisher goes all the way across. Had Mott going to his spot on the side of the post, but good work there from Kelly to get it right back to Mott. Mott gets it to the middle. They battle for it. Not sure what the whistle's for.
I think the goalie stopped it, and Mott was going for it. He's going for the puck. He hit the goalie, and then Oxford got upset and started slashing at him, but I don't think it was malicious by Mott. He was going for the loose puck, and sometimes when you start to go for it and the goalie covers it, he could give you one swat. It wasn't like he was lumberjacking there.
Goes all the way up to the point, kept in there by Kelly, but ends up going into the bench. So about a minute and a half remaining in this second period. Just over a minute of power play time.
Coach Don's getting the ref's ear before he gives him the puck back. I'm not sure what he was saying to him. He's talking to Brody Ford, too. He's giving him the business.
Across line, all the way across the Mott. That one goes off of his stick. He's behind. Ford works on him and rolls it. Ganley was able to keep it and get it right back to Mott. To Ganley, up to Colin at the blue line. Ganley to Mott. Mott steps in front, tries to get it through, but Keenan makes the save. Oxford gets it and clears it all the way down. Aiden Mott comes out, and he'll direct it behind for Fisher. Fisher had Fedorov to deal with, so we need to go back and reset. Just under half a minute remaining on the Kennett man advantage. Fisher with speed through center ice, in the zone. Drop for Mott, goes right back to Fisher. Tried to get it back in front, they battle for it, and it ends up going in. Kennett picks up the power play goal late here in the second period. Now lead by a score of 4-1.
That's number 3 for Lucas tonight, right? Nice feed by Fisher. Ben took it in down low behind the net. Waited, centered to Lucas. Squeaked it in. There's 3 for Lucas, I think, right? The public address announcer stopped announcing goals. She's having trouble with her mic, so I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, I think that from what we heard, it's probably better not to call them. Way up to the line. Active stick there. Forces it back out the center ice. Under a half minute here to go in this second period. Way across was looking for Brody. Ford got past him. Kennett moves it back out. Goes all the way down where Natalie Fatterall's there as Drew Showers comes in and knocks it off her stick. Shortledge comes in to put pressure in the corner. Rolls it to the middle, but Federoff was there to clear it out. Has the Ford. Ford winds up, takes the shot to get it off before the buzzer, but it went well wide. So after 2 periods of play, Kennett leads Oxford by a score of 4-1. This second period intermission is brought to you by High Impact Fitness, located in the shops of Longwood, directly across from the Go Green and Clean car wash. High Impact Fitness is a 24/7 fitness facility. Use the QR code on your screen to get a special discount for all Kennett students and their families. Join us at the gym today. I know we've got a few players. I know Matthew Hayes and a number of other of his classmates are there joining us in the gym. A player from last year, Jackie Good, is among that crew.
Are they getting stronger?
I would definitely say they are. Although sometimes I wonder when we have games and they're in there like a few hours before the game, it's like, no, save that energy for the game. But again, to your comment from before, that 15, 16, 17, it doesn't really matter. Energy to burn.
Just eat a whole pizza and go play a game, and it's fine.
My Homer Simpson impression. Pizza. We're talking about that on the way here. We're Jersey Shore folks, and Sam's Pizza announced I think they're opening for the season in the next day or two. So
I've never seen that show. Is that the one with what's the guy that's famous from Jersey Shore?
No, I have no idea about the show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the TV show.
No, that's where we
I see. Okay, I got you now. I'm sorry.
Yep. It gets by Kelly at the point. Kuchnada goes back to get it.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the reality show Jersey Shore, like with Snooki or
No,
Magic Mike or whatever the guy's name was.
I am happy to say that I have never seen that show.
Okay.
Moved ahead, Shortledge with it. He's checked there by Sido, but Kelly's able to support and at least get it into the Oxford zone. All the way across. Vitale tries to roll it over, looking for Ford. Sticked aside there by Aiden Mott. Ford in the corner, Shortledge with it. Ridden off that play. Puck goes in. Aiden gets a glove on it. He's heading over the net. Marker rolls it all the way across. Shot there. Hits a body, stays wide. Kuchnada gets it up to the line and able to move it out. Ford goes all the way across. Put in, but Kelly was there to make a good play. Nate banked it ahead, was looking for Nate DeWitt. Sido is there, but DeWitt checks it off of him and forces him down low. Rolled up to the blue line. Bodies come together. Sticks go flying. Heinzelman puts it into the far corner. Kennett makes some player changes. Madonna drops it there for Sido. He's able to step around one, knocked off his stick. Back into the corner. Ott puts it right out into the middle. Kelly's is at the length of the ice. No icing. Referee says it was deflected. Zach Keenan comes out to play it. All the way across far side. Sido feeds it up to Fedorov. Fedorov over to Keenan. Tried to get it to Ford, but that was ahead of him. Ford looked to center that, but that was cut off. Fisher up to Mott. He gets checked along the boards, but still has it. Sends it all the way up. That was well ahead of Ganley, and Sido moves in. Sido behind the net. Rolls it right out in front. They try to backhand it, but nothing on that. Opportunity there, stays wide. Still work for it behind the net. Fisher went to go up to Ganley, got by him, goes all the way down. And it will, they say, have enough for icing.
I was thinking about the situation.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
Snooki and Mike, the situation, Sorrentino? Or
I've heard of them, but again, I think that show kills brain cells. My opinion only. Face-off win there. Ford puts it right into the slot. Mott comes out to stick that away. Tatum rolled it to the middle, but Vitale's right there. He directs it out of the zone. He's looking to get it to Neiman, but Oxford player cut it off. All the way across. Ford at center ice. Steps in across the blue line. Forced all the way back up, and he'll put it in the far corner. Jake Marker takes a shoulder from Cucinotta. All the way across to Ford. Ford chips it, gets a deflection, stays wide of the net, goes all the way to the other side. Marker had a wide open net, but couldn't get his stick on the puck. He's forced off the play there by Cucinotta. Marker tries to come back and give him to him again. Puck goes onto the side of the net.
Kennett needs to reset themselves here. Oxford's carried these first 3.5 minutes. Seems like we can't get out of the zone.
So our next game is depending on the outcome of this one. So the first game of the playoffs is Tuesday, February 28th. That's up at the stadium. Win tonight means that game would be at 7 p.m. A loss means that game would be at 9 p.m. Puck along the near side. Work for it in the corner. Mott has it. He looked to go all the way across. Had Ganley all alone, but Keenan was able to cut that off. Rolls it in. And gets a blocker on that. Puck sat there for a second. Fisher with it now. All the way across. Chopped at to be out of Mott's way. He'll race down to get it.
That's not icing. That is not icing. That hit Mott at center ice. Coach Joe's saying the same thing, but a little bit louder than me. Yeah, I think Kennett needs to simplify here. They're looking for these cross-ice passes and these seam passes like they need to generate offense. They just need to get pucks from zone to zone. Defense into the neutral zone into the offensive zone.
Second opportunity there. Mott makes the first save. Gets a piece of the second. All the way out the middle. Ganley has to spin around but can't maintain control of it. Ford steps in across the line. Heinzelman forces him behind the net. Rolls it back down behind. Nate Kelly. He'll chip it up in the air, gets it up to Mott. Mott's got some open space. Mott with a lot of room. Comes in, makes the move, comes in front, rolls off his stick. Second opportunity there from Ganley in front. Goes wide. Behind the net, up to Fisher. He'll go up to Kelly at the blue line. Kelly will put it back down for Fisher. He takes a check in the back. Ford to it. Goes all the way across. Mott's first one there. He's able to keep it in the zone. Mott tied up with Fedorov. Fisher comes away with the puck, and he'll roll it down low. Ganley racing to get to it. He avoids a check there from Madonna. Puck up to the blue line and finally out. Ford rolls it ahead. Fedorov couldn't get to it. All the way up to the blue line. Madonna there. He takes the shot, gets by everybody, but stays wide. Keenan redirects it, but Heinzelman gets tied up. Goes down. Turnaround opportunity there from Keenan. Gets it, and the shot, and it ends up in the back of the net. Oxford cuts Kennett's lead in half. Now trails by only 2.
This might be a decent time for a timeout, Ed, here. Kennett's been chasing it for this whole period. Chasing it meaning absent maybe 30 seconds, not controlling the puck, making bad decisions with the puck, letting Oxford pretty much do what they want.
Big wind-up shot there from Shortledge. Gets on net. DeWitt's there. He tries to get another shot, but he's in too tight. Spin around there by Saito. Tries to go up, but Shortledge gets a stick on it and keeps it in the zone. So down in the middle, gets it to DeWitt. He tries to direct it. Keenan gets a stick on it and finally covers up and takes the whistle.
Good shift so far here from Kelly, DeWitt, and Shortledge. They've got a few chances, a little bit of zone time. Got to change the momentum here for from Oxford.
Puck in the corner. He's come together there. Colin Kelly goes down but stays on the play. Goes up the boards. Fedorov was able to move it up to Keenan. He's leaned on by DeWitt. Finally comes out to the middle. Vitale's there. Good back check there by Schillinger.
Nice pass by Tommy. Good work with him and Nate. Cucinotta there.
Away from behind the net, all the way up to Saito at the blue line. Kelly turn around and put it in the far corner.
Yep, there you go. That's what you need to do. Get it deep, get a forecheck going. Make Oxford make plays to get out of their zone.
Down behind the net, they roll it near side. Vitale tries to direct it up. Again, kept in the zone. Shortledge gets around Fedorov. Forced into the corner. She pins him there. Caught up in skates. It finally rolls near side. And it's Oxford with it, and they come out. Keenan over the blue line in the Kennett end. Takes the shot. Mott saves with that. He'll hold on to it in the midsection and take the whistle. Just over 9.5 minutes remaining in this game. Kennett currently leads Oxford by a score of 4-2. Currently shows Oxford out shooting Kennett 16-14.
I believe it.
Banked up, forward with it at the blue line, rolls it across, goes all the way through. You hear it hit the pads of Mott there. Shot there from Keenan goes up and over the net. Banked ahead, tried to get it up for Tamman, but Ford's with it. Ford rolls it all the way across. Keenan with a big wind up for it, but he fanned on that one. He tries to roll it back behind for Fedorov. Battle for it behind the net. Heinzelman there. Back up, second opportunity. Mott makes a huge save. Hagee gets a stick on it, but can't get it out of the zone. Finally rolled back behind. Heinzelman, hard work there to stay with it behind the net. Puck goes all the way up. Fedorov gets there. Keenan takes the shot, and it finds the back of the net. So, mismatch line there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the game, but you don't want to go into playoffs having blown a 3-goal lead in the third period, right? I mean, it's more of a mental thing. We want to go in feeling good about yourself, and Kennett's just stopped playing here in the third period.
So 8.5 to go here in this third period. Kennett's lead is cut to 1. Kelly tried to backhand one up, hits the glass, and goes into the penalty box. Coach Don will go over to retrieve it. Puck rolled all the way through. Oxford gets it to Ford. Ford gets the red line. He puts it all the way in, but from about 3 feet on the wrong side of the red line, so that's icing. He's trying to plead his case, but I think we had a pretty good vantage point to say he was definitely releasing it on the wrong side of the red line.
Yeah, he's arguing that his stick extension went over center ice before the puck actually left the blade of his stick, but the ref's not buying that.
Offensive zone draw there. To Lucas Mott, he tries to go up to Cucinotta. He gets it over to Fisher, but he's checked. It comes out to center ice. Cucinotta will roll it back out for Nate Kelly. Nate Kelly goes all the way up. Good pass there to Mott. Mott gets a step on Fedorov. Rolls it over, gets the opportunity there. Headed for Ganley, but it stays wide. Keenan rolls all the way across. Cucinotta picks up the loose puck, and he'll skate in. Takes the angle shot. Zach Keenan makes the save. Cucinotta comes right back to him. Roll it up to the line. Kelly with it. He'll look, take the shot, goes off a body, stays wide. Lucas there. Lucas Mott tries to bounce one, sits in the blue paint. Zach Comley covers that up, takes the whistle. Kennett will make player changes.
Want to keep this momentum. That was a good shift by Kennett. Want to keep the pressure on, keep the puck in the offensive zone for a little bit here to relieve some of the pressure here.
Put back behind. He rolls it up, but DeWitt reads that. DeWitt puts it behind the net. Shortledge over to it. Shortledge and Fedorov both go down. Back up, Oxford, able to outlet. Marker in across the zone. Good check there from Schillinger. Right back, gets a check in the back, and he's going to draw the penalty on that one.
Cross check. Is that on Marker?
That would be my guess. That would be my wife.
Yelling, come on, Kennett? Or
yes.
Go, Kennett. She gave you the look and from the stands. She's right here. You ever seen that look before?
I didn't see it, but
look.
I'm sure I did.
Now Michelle Kelly's giving a look too.
So just over 7 minutes in the third period, Kennett finds himself in a power play opportunity, up by 1. Tried to get that up to the point, but that was cut off by Fedorov and forced out to the middle. Kelly with it. He steps in. They're onside. Tries to cut to the middle. Knocked away, but Ganley. Back to Ganley. Gets it to Fisher. Fisher to Ganley at the blue line. Tried to go to Cucinotta, but he was racing in. Has to come back for it. Rolls it down for Mott. It's got Fedorov right there. He'll go back up to Cucinotta at the blue line. Takes the shot there. Sticked aside by Zach. Fisher now with it. Fisher all the way around. Got it to Mott. Lucas back to Fisher. He takes the shot. That goes wide. Cucinotta at the blue line. Trying to get it back down. Ganley with it there. All the way across to Fisher. Fisher to Lucas. Goes off of his stick, but he stays with it from behind the net. Rolled back up to Cucinotta, but that ends up going out to the neutral zone. So halfway through their man advantage, they got to reset. They step in. Cucinotta puts on the brakes. Rolls it back up for Mott. Has to go back to retrieve it. Still with it. All the way across. Collin back to Nate Cucinotta. Nate takes the shot, hits a stick, bounces up, and hits the glass behind. Fisher races to get to that. Try to get it up for Collin. He has to go over and pick it up from the near boards. Rolled it back for Fisher. He worked for it there. Off of Lucas. Oxford's able to pick it up, and they'll send it the length of the ice. Eden moves it ahead as we're back down to about 10 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Cucinotta in the zone. Goes wide. Forced behind the net. Final few seconds tick away. He'll roll it back behind. Colin Kelly puts it in the blue paint, hits a few sticks. Power play is over. Back to five-a-side hockey. Back up to Ganley. Fisher at the blue line. He takes the shot, deflected, goes wide. It's actually Brody Ford who had it, but it's taken off of his stick by Ganley. Bouncing puck there. Finally moves out to the neutral zone, all the way down into the Kennett end.
Kennett needs a change, and they need to get back.
Heinzelman behind the net. Goes off a stick. Sits there. Gets the shot. Mott makes a huge save there. Ganley gets it up, moves it up. Saito gets it from the... Saito loses it to Shortledge. Shortledge catches up to it. Oxford's finally there. He's waiting for reinforcements. Shortledge taken down into the boards. Oxford's going to go back. They're going to get the roughing call, so Kennett's going to go back to the man advantage.
The Oxford bench did not like that call.
So 4:11 to go in this third period. Kennett with the man advantage for at least the next two, assuming that nothing else happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's the right call because the ref doesn't know my kid. My kid falls down a little bit easy, so I probably wouldn't have called that a rough, but.
Steps in front, puck trickles all the way through and ends up going in. Kennett picks up the power play goal, extends their lead to 2 once again.
That was Shortledge again. Well, he made Oxford pay there.
So Kennett needs to lock it down at this point. His final few minutes of this third period. Bodies come together behind. Pile there. Heinzelman ends up coming away with the puck. Oh, he takes a huge hit there from Fedorov. Puck all the way down into the Oxford end. Brody Ford harassed at his blue line. Steps into the Kennett zone, tries to cut to the middle, still stays with it, takes the shot. Mott makes the save. Shortledge over to it, ends up with Heinzelman. He takes another check there from Fedorov. Puck in the middle, ends up deflected all the way, kept in the zone. Kelly in the corner, Keenan came to help. Ends up to Fedorov. He tried to put it in front, but hits the outside of the net. Heinzelman cuts through the slot, rolls it all the way up.
Nice pass.
Tries to get to DeWitt. He's got to catch up to it. DeWitt all the way across. Great opportunity. Shot there. Keenan gets enough to keep it wide. Ford takes the shot, drops underneath the Mott, but he stays with it. Referee talking to Brody Ford for his afterwards chop at the puck. I mean, it did fall under Mott, and he dropped on it, but.
Yeah, the ref was, he was educating Ford on what to do next time if that happens.
Just the clock. Timeout called here with 2:50 remaining in the third period. Kennett with a 2-goal lead. So there is a possibility, depending on how things go with the other games after this, that Kennett could face Oxford once again in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a great matchup for Kennett, like we said earlier, right? They're tough games with Oxford.
They are tough games with Oxford, but I don't think that any of the teams that you're looking at, whether it's Oxford, Bucksmont, or Harriton, I mean, any one of those teams can be good depending on who shows up and how well they play. I mean, I know when we played Bucksmont early on, we beat them pretty handily, but they have, like some of these teams, one player who I think he averages about 4.5 points a game.
Yeah, I think he has 20-some goals. He's only played like 8 games or something.
Yeah. He's one of those to where he touches the puck and it's like, watch out. So regardless of who Kennett would face in the first round, they definitely have their work cut out for them. 2:50 to go here in this third period. The face-off to Mott's right. Oxford wins that up to the line. Ford directs back down low. Keenan's there to it. Henry comes over to work on him. There's Colin Kelly there with him. Rolls all the way up into the netting. We get a stoppage.
We'll watch Keenan in net to see when he goes to the bench for an extra player. It's 2:36 left. I think if I was Oxford, if I got the puck in deep, I'd pull my goalie and go for it here. You got to get 2.
Rolls all the way down. He sets that up for Cucinotta. Cucinotta gets checked, taken away, rolls out in front. Dangerous play there for Kennett. Colin Kelly directed all the way through. Vitale, he's got a step in front, takes the shot, it goes up and over the net. Vitale with it again, puts it through. Has Neiman sitting in front, but he was checked from behind there. Puck banked out the center ice. Colin Kelly will turn around with it at the center ice line. Kennett will touch up.
Like to see how I like how Kelly's playing this year as the center. He's staying back almost like a third defenseman. Not going for offense, just making sure they're not getting any odd man rushes.
Snyder steps in the zone. It's knocked off of his stick, but he's the first one to it. Tries to put it out in front. Sits on the side of the net. Mott reaches over to cover that up. We'll take that whistle. Just over a minute and a half to go here.
I would pull the goalie. I think Oxford's going to do that.
Yep.
You have to here.
Goaltender Zach Keenan heads to the bench. Give Oxford the extra attacker here. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Offensive zone draw opportunity. Puck over. Heinzelman got a stick on it, but Ford keeps it in. Down to the corner. Fisher to it. He puts on the brakes. Rolls it all the way up. Had Ganley, but that was ahead of him. Back into the corner. Keenan's leaned on there by Heinzelman. Fisher to help. Donna tried to get it up to the point. Ganley rolls it across. It still stays in the zone and finally chopped out. Mott at center ice, backhanded it over. Ford goes in. Under a minute to play. Mott chops that into the corner. Tries to get it into the slot. Cucinotta there. He's forced behind the play. Work for it in the near corner. Puck is tied up. Not Oxford once, as time is definitely a factor. Trying to move the puck. Fans are cheering the clock on at this point. Puck all the way there, goes up. Gets a shot, that bounces up, stays wide. Heinzelman to it. Heinzelman banks it ahead, and they clear the zone. 20 seconds remaining. Oxford tied up at the blue line. Kennett across center ice. Ganley in the zone. He'll take the empty net shot, but that stays wide. Puck goes deflected up into the netting, out of play. And so they'll face that off in the Oxford zone with just about 7 seconds. Oh, nope, they're bringing it out to the neutral zone. But
that was a little...
Zach will have to head back out since that's practically in his doorstep.
A little hairier than we wanted it to be. It was... Kennett had a chance in the neutral zone to just get the puck deep, and they did a backhand pass in the center of the ice, and it went right back in, and there was 30 more seconds of zone time, so...
Look up to Cucinotta. He'll just hang on to it, let time run out. And there is the final regular season game of this year. Kennett comes out victorious, defeating Oxford by a score of 5-3. That should move Kennett to first place here in the D2 division, which means our next game will be the Tuesday, February 28th. That will be should be the 7 p.m. slot. We'll have to wait for confirmation from the league. But assuming that what we believe to be correct, Kennett will play at 7, and they'll play whoever ends up as the 4 seed. So a special thanks to Mr. Ganley for running the camera for us. Once again, for Swith and Shortledge, I'm Ed Henry. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you at the playoffs.